mistake that almost every intelligent professional makes when they're in an important conversation. They believe the goal is to demonstrate how much they know. So they explain more, they justify more, they add more context. And ironically, the more they talk, the less authority they project. Because the most powerful communicators understand something very different. Influence doesn't come from saying everything you know. It comes from knowing exactly what not to say. Today we're going to talk about strategic restraint, one of the most overlooked communication skills in leadership, negotiation, and high-stake conversations. And if you understand this concept, it will immediately change the way people perceive you. Most professionals believe that authority comes from information density, more facts, more detail, more explanation. But authority in communication actually works in the opposite direction. The more senior someone becomes in leadership, the less they speak unnecessarily. They think about the difference between someone trying to prove their intelligence versus someone who already knows they command the room. One talks constantly, the other speaks with precision. This isn't about withholding information, it's about controlling the signal. When you say fewer things, but every sentence carries weight, people listen differently. This is why experienced negotiators, senior executives, and seasoned leaders often sound calm, concise, and deliberate. They're not trying to fill space, they're shaping it. There are 3 hidden risks when people over-explain. The first is delusion. When everything is explained in detail, the key message loses its force. The second is exposure. The more someone talks, the more opportunities they create for disagreement, criticism, or misunderstanding. And the third, which is the most important, is psychological positioning. When someone constantly explains themselves, it subtly signals that they're seeking approval. And the moment approval seeking enters a conversation, authority begins to drop. You see this in negotiations all the time. One party continues explaining their position, the other side simply listens. The listener often appears more powerful, even though they've said very little, because silence creates gravity. Strategic restraint is not about being quiet, it's about choosing the moment that matters. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're presenting an idea in a room full of executives. Many people will do something like this. They present their idea, then they immediately begin explaining why it's good. Then they explain the risks. Then they explain the supporting data. Then they continue talking because the silence feels uncomfortable. But someone operating with strategic restraint will do something very different. They present the idea, then they stop talking. And they allow the room to react. Silence forces people to engage. It shifts the psychological pressure away from the speaker and onto the listeners. It's a subtle but powerful dynamic. When you speak deliberately, people lean forward. When you speak continuously, people lean back. Strategic restraint also sends an important signal. It communicates confidence, because confident people do not feel compelled to fill every pause. They're comfortable allowing space, and that space does something fascinating in conversations. It creates attention. When you speak calmly and deliberately, people start paying closer attention to every word. Your sentences carry more weight. Your pause create anticipation, and your ideas land with more impact. This is why some leaders can say one sentence and shift the direction of an entire meeting. It isn't because they talk the most, it's because when they speak, everyone listens. If you want to begin using this skill immediately, here are 3 simple practices. First, finish your thought, then stop. Do not rush to explain the explanation. Second, let silence work. If there's a pause after you speak, resist the urge to fill it. Silence often means people are processing what you just said. And third, focus on clarity over volume. Ask yourself before you speak, what is the one sentence that actually matters here? Not the 10 sentences, the one. That discipline changes everything. One of the most important lessons in communications is this. Influence isn't created by the number of words you say. It's created by the weight of the words you choose. And the people who command the most attention in a room are rarely the loudest. They're the ones who understand something most people never learn. Silence, used well, is not absence, it's leverage. And when you learn to speak with restraint, precision, and intent, people begin listening to you very differently. If you found this episode valuable, share it with someone who leads conversations, negotiations, or teams, because the difference between talking and speaking with intent is often just a matter of restraint.